interesting negotiation.
Smiles, everyone. We must be careful how we present ourselves.
Why did Divine Victoria call the Exalted Council? She's kept Orlais from bothering us for the last 2 years.
At increasing political cost, yes. She has done all she can, but the Exalted Council has become necessary. Orlais would control us, and based on their many marriage proposals, they have specific plans for you. Our real concern is Ferelden. They would see us disbanded entirely.
Inquisitor, it has been too long. I hope the years have been kind to you.
How have you been, Mother Giselle?
I spent last summer in Emprise de Lyon, distributing food sent from the Exalted Plains. The Dales are finally recovering.
Corypheus left a great deal of damage for us to repair. I appreciate your efforts.
And I yours, Your Worship. I should mention that your forces at Suladin Keep were of great help. Please give my compliments to Baron Deschedin. Divine Victoria asked me to greet you on her behalf. She is currently attending to the Ferelden ambassador's concerns.
How do you think Divine Victoria has done these last 2 years?
It is hardly for me to say, Inquisitor.
With respect, that's never stopped you before, Mother Giselle.
Victoria has proven adept at winning allies with both her intelligence and her faith. It is a blessing in these trying times. We are lucky to have her.
You can probably just call her Leliana in private conversation.
You can, Inquisitor. I prefer to use her divine name. Our last divine once joked about why I insisted upon calling her Justinia. She called it my way of reassuring her that I had not completely forgotten who was in charge.
I'll speak to Divine Victoria.
I believe she would appreciate that, Your Worship. The Divine sees the good that you can do and have done. Duke Cyril will wish to greet you on behalf of Orlais. I believe he is currently speaking with the Tevinter ambassador. Many of your friends have returned as well. I hope you have a chance to speak with them before the Exalted Council begins.
The Imperium sent an ambassador.
Yes, Your Worship. Dorian Pavas has taken the chance to return from Tevinter. It will be good to see him again. I owe him my apology. I allowed my distrust of Tevinter to cloud my judgment. He took a great risk coming to help us, and deserved better treatment.
You're going to apologize? To Dorian?
I have little patience for those who cannot admit they were wrong, Your Worship. Myself included. I will have to make my apology somewhere public. He will want an audience for his reaction.
Who has returned for the Exalted Council?
Your dwarven friend, Master Tetras, for one. I understand he spent much of the last few years in Kirkwall. I believe Sir Blackwall has returned as well, although he now uses the name Tom Ranier. Enjoy time with them while you can, Your Worship. I doubt you will have the chance once the Exalted Council is underway.
Thank you, Mother Giselle.
Your Worship, a final question, if I may. This Exalted Council, Ferelden would have the Inquisition disband. Orlais sees its power as another feather in a chevalier's helmet. What do you wish to do with the Inquisition?
You once told me about the first Inquisition that took place 800 years ago. You said that when their battle was over, that Inquisition soldiers sheathed their swords and went home. If our battle is truly over, Perhaps it's time for us to do the same.
Thank you. Maker watch over you, Inquisitor. I will not keep you any longer.
The Prince of Starkhaven wrote to you again.
Of course he did. Just put that one in the pile with letters from the Merchants Guild.
And the captain of the city guard had a very colorful message for me to deliver to you as well.
Inquisitor! Andraste's ass, am I ever glad to see you?
Are you in some kind of trouble? What's happened this time?
So suspicious. I'll have you know I've never been convicted of anything. Officially. This is Bran Caven. Until recently, he was the Viscount...
Provisional Viscount.
Of Kirkwall.
And what are you doing now?
I have resumed my post as Seneschal now that Master Tethras has been elected Viscount.
You're the Viscount of Kirkwall now.
Well, it seems the two of you have a great deal to discuss. Why don't I just leave you to it?
So, it turns out you fund enough reconstruction efforts in a city-state, the nobles give you the worst job they can think of.
Does this mean I can't tempt you into coming back to Skyhold? Wicked Grace hasn't been the same since you left.
I'm probably going to be stuck in Kirkwall for the foreseeable future. There's a lot to do back home. They voted me in because I got the harbor and businesses up and running again. They want shit fixed, and I can do that. Anyway, I was hoping I'd catch you before the summit got underway. I got you a sort of present. It's official recognition of your title and holdings in Kirkwall. Congratulations. You're a Comtesse now.
You can't actually do that without...
Too late. Already did it. I also drafted an alliance with the new elf-led city council of Wycombe, so Clan Llewellyn has some political muscle to flex now.
That needs to be reviewed by...
You were leaving us to talk, remember?
What brought all this on? I'm pretty sure it's not Give Your Friends Lavish Titles Day.
Oh, what kind of Viscount would I be if I didn't abuse my position to give shit to my friends? I've got traditions to uphold. Oh, that reminds me. It's the key to the city.
You can't give that away without approval from the council and a special ceremony.
It's just symbolic anyway.
It controls one of the giant chain nets in the harbor.
Really? That is so much better than I thought.
You can't give me the actual key that closes Kirkwall's harbor. That's absurd.
Finally, someone with sense.
I don't know how this council thing is going to end for the Inquisition. But whatever gets decided, you've got a place lined up in Kirkwall if you want it. Also, control of the harbor, I guess. Anyway, you should meet with the diplomats. And we'll get in a game of Wicked Grace before I go back, though, right?
I wouldn't miss it.
Don't bet any public buildings this time.
I'll be here if you need me.
Inquisitor, I see you have time for afternoon refreshments.
Glimmering, glittering, perfect cut, mask a maze of gemstones. She will think it pretty.
Excuse me, I might,
You're useful to have around, Cole.
He wants stones the color of his eyes. Happy, bright, beaming, being seen, not seeing. And I needed the table.
For breadcrumbs?
Birds like breadcrumbs.
Inquisitor, how good to see you here. I came to sit and pen another song.
Sweet songs, poignant pain plants joy that grows later. She can't see me. I help her help people.
I gathered.
You're smart and kind. You're worthy of true love.
Hello, Halam Sharam! The fire of Zither must be fueled by wine, ideally shared with adoring fans.
But not with him. You need somebody nice. Yes, better. He'll be gentle, so will you.
You're with the Chargers, are you not? I've seen you in the Skyhold Tavern where I sing.
Oh, yes. I love your songs. Sometimes I'd sit up on the chair to take a better look at your songs. The Chargers have their own song, if you'd like to hear it.
Good.
You sure they'll both be all right when Krem tells her?
Strong arms, a sweet voice. Father wanted me to be happy.
Which one of them is that?
Both.
Inquisitor Herald, glad to be back for whatever it is this lot have shoved up their sleeves. Just right up in there.
That's it? It's been some time.
Well, we don't know what's what, so what's there to go on about? It's Inquisition business, innit? That's all we are. Maybe sort out how they want to mess with us. Then there'll be something to talk about.
Your worship, I'm glad you're here. Listen, I need you to keep the chief distracted while we sneak this dragon skull through the room behind him.
I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes.
It's for his birthday.
I'll see what I can do, Krem.
All right, here he comes. Just keep him talking. He loves talking.
Hey, boss. Good to see you.
It's good to see that the Veil has largely healed, now that most of the major rifts are closed. You might think otherwise, but the Veil isn't technically a physical barrier. It's more like a magical vibration that repels the Fade. Do you think news of the Exalted Council could affect the lyrium shipments from Orzammar?
Maybe.
Did you know that Ferelden has its own names for lords? The country is divided into Ternirs, governed by Terns. Inside those are cities and Arlings ruled by Arls, and then there's the Banorn. It's a large area of countryside ruled by multiple bands.
Good to know.
It's fascinating to see the remnants of Syrian culture here. Most of it was deliberately erased during Orlesian unification under the reign of Mafarath's son Isarath.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Sure you can. They must have that thing almost across the room by now, right? Ben Hasrath, remember?
Surprise! Happy birthday, Chief.
Oh, you guys. You got me.
Oh.
Is everything all right?
Yes. Well, I wanted to speak with you, and now you're here.
Should I leave and come back later so you can try again?
Always with clever suggestions. Maybe you should sit.
I can stand.
Maybe I should sit. Inquisitor, I want you to know that I am your friend. I will always be your friend.
Oh, well, that's...
So I hope to give you sound advice on this momentous day. Do what is in your heart, my friend, no matter what anyone might tell you.
maybe I should leave and come back. I think I missed the beginning.
I'm talking about marriage.
Marriage?
I can't imagine who it is. Macon knows you've kept it secret, but if marriage is... You're not proposing to anyone. I am going to kill Varric. Why do I believe everything he says? Why?
I might get married. I've thought about it.
I suspected as much. Being Inquisitor has brought you good things. Many good things. But only a few have been by your choice. Take what happiness you can from those and do not let them go. That is all I meant to say. Advice from a friend for the days to come.
Fashionably late. I thought you weren't gonna show.
I gave you my word we would talk, and I never break my word.
Easy there. I was just teasing. So tell me everything that happened while I was away. And after the betrayal, and what I put those men through, my sorries were worth about as much as shit.
How many people hit you?
I lost count at 12, but I could take a punch. They needed to know that there's a way to come back from anything. And I wanted to help them if I could. I thought going up there on the gallows was difficult. This was worse. 100 times worse. Anyway, it's nice to be back, though I'm not sure what to think of this council. No matter what, you know you can always count on my sword arm and my friendship.
If that's your sword arm, I think I'm better off without it.
Think you can do better?
It's been quite a day so far, has it not? I've been speaking with representatives from everywhere.
Have they given you trouble?
Not at all. It is quite alarming. It means they are all saving themselves up for later. Would you walk with me? I should like to take some air before the Exalted Council becomes inescapable. The palace has been most accommodating. We are, after all, here at their insistence. But the ministers may... No. No more talk of the council. This meeting was to spend time with you in a more relaxed fashion.
Then why can I still see those wheels turning in your head?
Work carries a certain momentum. The truth is, there is a small entertainment happening tonight, to which I may be able to find a pair of invitations.
You'd like me to go with you?
Very much so. In all the years you've worked with Orlais, you had so little time to enjoy its culture.
I do wish you'd warned me the game would take more work after Halam Shiral.
It's strange. Those were somehow simpler times. With all that's been happening, I promised myself a single evening out. I'd very much like to go with a friend.
And what is this small entertainment?
Something to ease our minds. I would very much like to surprise you with the details.
Thank you for thinking of me. I'd be delighted to attend.
Splendid. I will arrange things at once. The past years have been so busy. We have earned at least a few moments of rest.
A calm night out sounds...
Oh, bravo! Bravo!
Was the woman in gold playing a king? Who was the man in feathers?
Oh, it's all very simple. The first actor's mask is determined by... well, I will lend you the program guide. But tell me, did you enjoy the performance?
That was... one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Truly.
That part with the glittery... and they actually set fire to... Yes, I truly enjoyed it.
Then I call tonight a great success. Oh, look! The encore signal!
You there! You're to dodge, not catch. If that ball were a fireball, you'd be dead.
You... found a dog?
They don't breed Mabari in Orlais. The merchant said he was abandoned. Perhaps his owner's tired of the novelty.
Tire of you? With that positive attitude and fetching ability?
He's not supposed to fetch it.
I don't think you understand how this works.
Another Ferelden trapped at the Winter Palace. I couldn't leave him to that fate. Besides, I think he likes me.
I never expected you to make friends at a political council. How times have changed.
So they have. The Inquisition will change after this. I'm not yet sure what that will mean. Whatever happens, our people, you, Liliana, Josephine, will have my support in whatever form you require.
If your support comes with that of your new friend, I'm sold. I know a useful ally when I see one.
You can help. Dodge this, and I'll find overpriced Orlesian dog treats before we go.
Darling, you made it. Excellent. I scheduled this appointment ages ago, and they do appreciate punctuality.
Appointment?
With the Imperial Garden Spa, of course. You work so hard, my dear. I wanted to treat you.
I've never heard of a fancy spa serving elves.
You are the Inquisitor, darling. Savior of the Empire. They won't turn you away.
What are the cheese wheels for?
It pains me that you even have to ask. You've clearly been living too long in barely civilized conditions.
Did you hear something?
Relax, darling. It's spa day. How have you been? It seems ages since we've spoken. I know you were cruelly disappointed when Solus left.
I'm still not over what happened.
We shouldn't dwell on terrible mistakes, should we? It's spa day.
How do you think the conference will end? What do you think they'll decide?
It's all foolish posturing. The nations of Thedas know they can only politely ask the Inquisition to be on its way. Don't you feel better, my dear? This place really does work miracles.
What happened?
Darling, it's spa day. Don't fret. You'll undo all the good they've done. Come along, Inquisitor. They have other appointments, you know.
Divine Victoria, am I interrupting?
Of course not, Inquisitor. I was catching up with Redcliffe's Arl. He's here to represent Ferelden at the summit.
Inquisitor, good to meet you.
How are things in Redcliffe, my lord?
Blessedly quiet. The mayor conveys his greetings. Redcliffe remembers its savior.
I'll try not to keep you from more important matters.
Very well. We'll continue this later, your perfection.
Many are frightened of the Inquisition's power, but I will do all I can to allay their fears.
When world powers want to discuss plans for the future, I get nervous.
Good. Someone should keep you on your toes. We don't want you to get bored, Inquisitor. I have much to do, but let me say this. I may no longer be your spy master, but I am always here if you require.
I'm glad you finally arrived, Inquisitor. The Crown's anxious for news.
And your thoughts on Ferelden's position?
The breach is long gone, yet Skyhold's army remains. Ferelden can't continue to ignore soldiers on its borders.
The Inquisition has grown. I can see how its presence might cause concern.
Then you understand why we must demand a reduction of your military forces. A power without allegiance to either Ferelden or Orlais? Even I see neither of our countries can let it rest. I won't keep you longer. We'll have words enough when the Exalted Council begins.
Orlais is on your side, Lord Parvis. The Inquisition's support is not a thing to lose lightly.
Which is why the Orlesian court is circling it with a net and collar? But you'll have to excuse me. I see an old friend I must greet. Inquisitor, how long has it been? Don't actually tell me. I despise feeling old. It's good to see you, my friend.
You arrived ahead of me. I hope all's well.
It's everything I expected. We've been spared the burden of surprise. Orlais wants the Inquisition tamed, Ferelden wants it gone, the Chantry meddles, and Tevinter sends but one ambassador. That's me, by the way. A reward for my interest in the South. Thankfully, Ambassador Pavis is a token appointment. Call on me as you like.
Inquisitor, Duke Cyril Montfort, member of the Council of Heralds and Lord of Chateau Haine. I have long followed your work. It is extraordinary.
Is that sentiment shared by the rest of the court?
Of course. Orlais wishes only to offer respectful guidance to the Inquisition.
The Inquisition's grown. It would be shocking if they didn't find us a threat.
Yet you've started no major wars. The Inquisition is a very considerate rival. I have not forgotten Justinia's death. I had friends who perished at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. More than the good you have done, it is the good we may do together I don't wish to lose. Whatever happens, Inquisitor, I wish you well.
As the most eloquent dwarf you know, Sparkles...
Speech! Speech! Way too much speech.
Varric, there's really no need.
What's going on?
Inquisitor! You're just in time. Sparkles, the Imperium doesn't deserve you. Or want you. It may even kill you. But we'll miss you. If it counts. And you didn't know. Okay, folks. Time to take the party elsewhere.
Tama never wanted any. I swear.
Leave him.
It's true. When the Exalted Council has ended, I'm going back to Tevinter. For good, this time.
You know I'll miss you.
Naturally. My father is dead. Assassinated, I believe. I received notice this morning. A perversely cheerful letter congratulating me on assuming his seat in the Magisterium. We only met a few times while I was home. He didn't say anything about keeping me as his heir. This ambassadorship, his doing, I'm told. He must have wanted me away when the trouble began. I have to go back.
So you'll truly be a Magister?
Oh, yes. I can't wait to degrade the Magisterium with my presence. A new outfit is required.
And then what?
I find my father's killers and kill them back. Then I find those giving Tevinter a bad name and kill them. They're most likely the same people, so that should make the job easier.
You'll need help. I could go with you.
Not this time, my friend. I won't be entirely without support. Mayveris has gathered other Magisters who feel as we do. We'll be an actual faction in the Magisterium. I'll teach them manners, take them shopping. It'll be fun.
I know it was complicated, but I'm sorry about your father.
Thank you. It still doesn't feel real.
You don't have to go back, Dorian. You put it behind you, you still could.
Give up a golden opportunity for martyrdom? Perish the thought. A present. A going-away present. It's a sending crystal. Amazing what friendship with the Inquisition gives you access to. If I get in over my head, or you're overwhelmed with sorrow for lack of my velvety voice... magic. What? You didn't think I would just leave and you'd never hear from me again, did you? You are my dearest friend. Perhaps my only friend. That will never change, no matter where we are. Now let's finish the good wine before the others get back.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, Artigan, as to your concerns...
The Inquisition established an armed presence in Ferelden territory. You outright seized Caer Bronach in Crestwood.
Yes, from bandits. Would you like us to give it back to them?
Your help was appreciated 2 years ago, Inquisitor. Now order has been restored, yet you remain. Invading under pretext of restoring order is exactly what the Grey Wardens did to us centuries ago, and we exiled them. Now the Inquisition is doing the same thing with Grey Wardens in their ranks.
Your concern is ill-founded. The Grey Wardens have proven their worth time and again.
Of course Orlais tolerates this interference. Without the Inquisition, Celine would have neither her throne nor her elven... marquise.
Rest assured, Tegan, the Empire of Orlais will not stand idle if the Inquisition oversteps its bounds. Unlike Ferelden, however, Orlais understands that these were the well-intentioned mistakes of a young organization.
An organization in need of a guiding hand. Yours, no doubt.
Pardon me, Inquisitor. Divine Victoria wishes to speak with you in private.
The Divine Victoria? Who is sitting just up there?
Yes, and who was once your spy master. It's a pressing matter, your worship.
My apologies. An urgent matter has come to my attention. Ambassador Montelier, can you handle this for a short while?
Of course, Inquisitor.
This is highly irregular.
Perhaps it would be best if we took a short recess. The guard said we should both see this. I believe she was correct. A Canary warrior in full armor. How did he get into the Winter Palace?
We need to find out what's going on. Can Josephine manage the diplomats while I look around?
She will be fine. It's all speeches and posturing for the first few days anyway. I will extend the recess as long as possible. I will also have our friends ready themselves for battle if need be.
You think that's likely?
I think the Exalted Council may be more exciting than we expected.
Move along. There's nothing to see here.
It looks like he came down over the railing.
I cannot wait to tell everyone about this.
Those Fereldans, always afraid to mingle.
Scout lays hard and
The crossroads. Morrigan brought me here while showing me the alluvions. I'd forgotten all the colors.
What are you talking about? Everything's all gray.
I wonder if it somehow looks different to elves. Judging by the bloodstains he tried to get through here.
Is something wrong?
This mirror doesn't look broken, but it's inactive. Maybe there's a way to unlock it.
Oh, but still, not bad.
blood trail leads to this mirror.
Let us see where this Kunari came from.
Elven ruins. I'm not sure we're even in Orlais anymore. Another Kunari, dressed like the one in the Winter Palace.
He's part of their military, dressed for war.
Scorch marks everywhere. This is the work of a mage.
A powerful one. I can still feel the heat crackling.
We need to find out why these Kunari were here and who did this to them. Over there, Kunari. If we want to know why they're here, we've got to get across to that island.
The elves bound a spirit here. It feels old. Very old.
What does it want? I think I know what to say. Milana de Thabarin. Rivas, Vir Anaris.
Seemed to work. What did you say?
It was part of a ritual. A secret greeting from those Fen'Harel trusted. If Mithal's Well of Sorrows knew this, were they close? Friends, or... I'm not sure. That was like Veilfire. It claimed this was a refuge for elven slaves.
You mean the ancient elves kept slaves? Maker's breath. One more thing never to tell Daisy.
This whole valley was a sanctuary created by the Dreadwolf Fen'Harel. This doesn't make sense. In Dalish legends, Fen'Harel is our god of misfortune. That illuvian only took us a short distance. That's the same lake we saw from the other tower.
So the old elves had many uses for these devices. Wounds on the back, no blood on his sword. Someone took him by surprise.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry.
So, we're getting the band back together. That's exciting.
We are not a band of any sort.
Just because you can't carry a tune, Seeker, doesn't mean you're not front and center in our band of misfits.
Here we go again. What a change of pace from the Winter Palace. A clear sky, a beautiful view, and yes, fields and fields of stripweed as far as the eye can see.
Strip what?
Terrible stuff. Looks like grass, stings like a knife, and causes sores if you so much as brush against it. So, of course, everyone in Manrathus insists it makes a very decent tea.
This is Fen'Harel helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
He took great pains to renounce his supposed divinity.
Ordinary guy saves people, accidentally founds religion. Sounds a lot like the chant, actually.
Fen'Harel sounds like quite the rebel. The old elven gods must have simply loved that.
This claims the elven gods were just Evaneris, powerful, but completely mortal mages.
Was this the start of an uprising? Freed elven slaves against their former masters?
If that's true, Fen'Harel was teaching these freed slaves the truth about these false gods.
Everything okay?
It felt like the anchor stung me. This looks like it fits into that pedestal by the broken bridge.
This place makes my skin crawl.